Hello, my name is Tim Manzke, and I'm going to show an example of graphing the equation 4x equals 5y using a table of values. First thing I'm going to do is, in a Microsoft Word document, I'm going to insert a table. My table is going to have 4 columns, and I'm going to put several rows. I'm going to put 8 for good measure. So, in each of these columns is going to represent a certain representation of the graphing process. For example, we have the x values, we have the equation itself, we have the y values, and then the values for the ordered pairs. Now, in picking values for an ordered for creating ordered pairs, I like to start off with 0. We can pick some basic values like 1, 2, 3, say -1, -2, and -3. And let's see what happens when we use these values. So for example, let's say x is going to be 0, the y value is going to solve y. So for example, you'd say 4 times 0 equals 5 times y. So you get 0 equals 5y. Now what's going to happen here, if we were to divide both sides by 0, divide both sides by 5, excuse me, the result would be 0 divided by 5 is 0. 5y divided by 5 would just give you a value of y left over. So when x is 0, y is going to be 0. So my ordered pair is 0, 0. What happens when x is 1? So let's take a look. So you're going to have 4 times 1 is equal to 5 times y. So if I were to simplify that, 4 times 1 would give you 4 equals 5y. Again, divide both sides by 5. And you have an answer of 4/5 equals, now 5's cancel out and you have y. So 4/5 would be my answer. So when x is 1, the y value is 4/5. If you continue this process, like for example when x is 2, say 4 times 2 equals 5y. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 equals 5y. Let's see here. So we say, okay, divide both sides by 5. And then, so you have 8/5 is equal to y. And so I have 2, 8/5. Now, as I'm looking at some of these values, you'll notice that in graphing fractions can be a great challenge on a grid. You may be inclined at this point to say, okay, I'm getting a lot of answers with fractions. If that's the case, what you may want to do is take the equation itself and maybe try this. Let's say, for example, solve for y. Just as a general representation of the linear equation that you're given. Now if you do that, let's say divide both sides by 5. On the left-hand side, you'll end up with 4/5 x. On the right-hand side, we'll end up with y, which is the same as saying y is equal to 4/5 x. I would recommend looking at the number in front of the x, which will be our slope of the equation. And if you're insistent upon using the table of values method, look at the denominator. The denominator happens to be 5. So I would be inclined to try to use numbers multiple of 5. So like say, for example, let x equals 5. Again, you're working with this equation here. 4x equals 5y, but instead of having x, we're going to put a 5 in its place. 4 times 5 is going to equal 20. And then from here, what I would do then is divide both sides by 5. And then so you would have 4 is equal to y. So you have, for the y value, you'd have 4. And my ordered pair is going to be 5, 4. You could have a negative number that's a multiple of 5, let's say like negative 5. So you can say 4 times negative 5 equals 5y. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Again, solve for y. We're going to divide both sides by 5, the number in front of the y. So I'm going to get y by itself because we're solving for y here. And as a result, you're going to have negative 4 is equal to y. And so your next ordered pair would be negative 5, negative 4. So we have several ordered pairs to work with. You can find more if you want, but at this point I would be inclined to insert a grid. When I'm inserting a table where you get to choose the rows and columns, I like to, in Microsoft Word, I like to choose 20 and 20. Gives you a evenly spaced grid to work with. Now again, we're going to be graphing the equation. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Try to go to a split screen here. So here I have the equation y. Again, you're graphing the equation 4x equals 5y. We're going to use these table of values over here. So we're going to work with, I'm just going to move things around. Let's see if I can do this real quick. So 4x equals 5y. Alright, let's see if I can see on the screen. No, it didn't want me to let me do that. Okay. Next thing I would do is I'd lay out the shapes. I would draw a horizontal axis and a vertical axis. Right click on the line, I'm going to format the shape, make the point size big enough to, and then the color, I like to generally make it black. Line color. And also make a horizontal line. Represent the y-axis. Hit Control Z if you want to redo it. click, format the shape. Okay, then we're going to insert some points. And just make some circles. And I like to format the color again to be black. Click on the circle, Control C, hold on the Control key, press C, copy, hit Control V. Come up with several ordered pairs. First ordered pair we had was 0, 0. So we'll put that there. So I'm going to plot that on there. Now the next point we had, now notice you got the fractions. I try to stray away from fractions if possible. We had 2 ordered pairs of whole numbers, so let's try to work with those. X is 5. Y is 4. Best way for when you're doing a homework assignment is probably consult your instructor to say which method they would prefer. If they want you to use a table of values, obviously you want to pick values that are going to give you whole numbers to give you the best result. So, like here, this is going to be, we're going to do that. So I'll look at the, like here, -5, -4. So, from the origin, you go with -5, and it's going to the left. And down 4. Okay, and then we're going to insert a line. And then we're going to click on it. And again, you can make it a little bigger if you want. Color again, you can move that. Alright. And if you try to find those 2 other points, like 4/5, like 4/5 is about right here. X2, 5/8 is about right here. So you could plot those points after drawing the line. Again, I would try to plot the points with whole numbers first. So this was drafting an equation, 4x equals 5y, using a table of values. I hope this was helpful. Please contact me if you have any questions, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day.